I've been putting this off for a little while because I've been so busy. Because the reaction channel is like starting to pick up momentum again, and I want to ride that wave because I want to continue to see that channel grow and bring in more new eyes, which equals more revenue, as you guys know, and all that. Now, excuse me. So, as you guys know, I'm currently in Thailand, headed to Vietnam. So what I'll do is I'm gonna put out this video, and then about a week from now, when this video drops, I'll drop a video for my cost of living and how much I spent in Thailand as well. All right. Now, what I want to do is first I want to start off with the cost of the flight. Now, for you guys that know, my first time traveling overseas was to Colombia back in February. That was a round trip, and that was roughly like $560 or somewhere between like 560 to 600. I can't remember, but I think it was somewhere in that range, right? Okay. Now, since I've traveled to Southeast Asia, I've been doing one-way flights for the most part, cause I went to the Philippines, then I came to Thailand where I'm at now, and then I'm headed to Vietnam. So, from Cincinnati, Ohio, which is where I'm from, all the way to Manila, Philippines, my one-way flight was $762. Now, for a lot of people, they're gonna be like, what in the hell? How in the hell did you get a flight that cheap all the way over there? Because even for a one-way flight, that's actually really cheap, because a lot of the other prices that I saw were pretty much 1,000 and up. And that's for a one-way, keep in mind. Now, this is one of the reasons why I promote Global Passport Crew so much. He is the content creator that gave me the tools to, understand how to get the cheapest flights that you can get. Now, mind you, the layovers were a little bit of a headache. Particularly the one in Qatar, because I basically had to stay overnight. So, for the sake of saving a few dollars, they have what they call quiet rooms where people can literally go in there and go to sleep. So that's pretty much what I did in order to save myself a few more dollars. Because I didn't want to have to leave, go to a hotel, check my bags in again. I wasn't really trying to go through all that hassle. It was like, where can I go and just because my flight left early in the morning from Qatar to the Philippines. Now, so my first layover was Chicago, then Qatar, and then from there I made it to the Philippines. Now I got to the Philippines very, very late that night too, because I want to say a flight got pushed back. I can't remember exactly. I think my flight got pushed back. I think that's what happened. So, I didn't get to Manila till about 10 or 11 that night. Now, first thing I want to tell you guys is the currency exchange rate. When I got there, it was like 54.50 for every dollar. And I think when I left, or as right now, it's like 55 to every dollar. So I want y'all to take that in so that way y'all can get some perspective on how much it costs. And I'll be converting on my phone exactly how much I spent, because I had to write down the cost of my lodging in Filipino pesos, and then we'll convert it over to US dollars so that way y'all can understand how much I spent total. All right. Now, first of all, I spent 2 weeks in Manila, 1 week in Cebu, and then 5 days in Boracay. All right. Now, the one-way flight was $762. Okay. Now, the 2 weeks that I spent in Manila, the lodging there came up to 16,000 Filipino pesos. All right. So I'm gonna check on my phone here. How much is 16,000 Filipino pesos in US dollars?
16,000 Philippine pesos equals $286.87.
All right, $286.87. Okay. All right. Now, as you guys know, for the most part, I pretty much did Airbnbs. With the exception of the place in Boracay, that was kind of more like a, I don't want to say like a hostel, but it was kind of, I don't know, the name, it was kind of like, they named it like a partel or something like that, man. I mean, it wasn't the best spot. I know this much. When I go to when I do go back to Boracay, and I promise you I will, because I love that place, I'm definitely going to try to make sure I'm in a position where I can book something a lot nicer than that. But 286.87. All right. Now, I remember how much I spent at Cebu, so I don't gotta write that down because it came up to 5,500, which essentially is basically $100. So we're just gonna round that off to about $100. All right, and then Boracay, let's see, was 8,139. So what we'll do is, let me just do this. How much is 8,140 Filipino pesos in US dollars?
8,140 Philippine pesos equals $145.94.
All right, so 140. Well, we'll just say 146. All right, just to round that off, because that ain't nothing but 6 cents. Okay. So let's see. That's 245 plus the 286. Gonna do the math here real quick. All right, so total, I spent $531 on lodging, $762 on the flight. Okay, so total, we're sitting at about, let's see, actually pretty close to $1,300. We're sitting at $1,293. It's $1,293. All right. Now, spending money, because that's pretty much going to be entertainment, food, and transportation. You know what I mean? Now, for you guys, I will say I never spent more than maybe $5 or $6 one way wherever I had to go. So if you think about a ride to where I'm going and then a ride back, somewhere between 10 to 12 bucks. Okay? This is one of the reasons why I advise guys that if you're a solo traveler, I highly recommend you get over your fear of bikes and get on the back of a bike, because it literally cuts the transportation in half. All right, make sure if you're going to go to Southeast Asia or Asia period, because from what I tell, it seems like this app works all across Asia. Get the Grab app and get another app called Bolt. All right, make sure you download these two apps. From what I'm told, Bolt is cheaper, but for some reason I'm having issues getting on there because of the whole issue with the phone, because they need your phone number to verify. But Grab is actually pretty good. Grab is literally Uber and Uber Eats combined, all right? So now, mind you, I was there for a whole, let's see, altogether I was there for 3 weeks and basically 3.5 weeks. A little bit more than 3.5 weeks. You could say 25, 26 days, all right? Total, I spent somewhere between five to 600 as far as spending money. That's including food every day, transportation, little miscellaneous stuff like getting a SIM card for my phone, all that, okay? So total, you're looking at somewhere between 18 to 1900 that I spent my whole time in the Philippines, all right? So again, $531 total for all three places. Lodging, $762 for the flight, and I spent somewhere between 500 to 600 just on spending money, and that's including food, transportation, and all that, all right? So Now, the reason why I want to go over these numbers with you guys is because just like Global Passport Crew, I want to show you guys how to travel on a budget. When I went to Colombia, I spent 16, maybe 1700 at the most. All right, and I was down there for the whole month of February. And keep in mind that was during Carnival. You know what I mean? That's a very important time of the year. It's popping down there. All right. So, with that in mind, so far, both places I've been to, I've managed to keep my budget under 2,000. I've managed to keep my budget under 2,000 for both of those trips. All right. Now, obviously, when I do the Thailand one next week, because by then I'll be in Vietnam, because I want to wait. You know, I like to wait till I'm completely out of a country to make these kind of videos for you guys, so that way you get a much better perspective on how much I really spent. All right, because we already know that Thailand is probably going to be about the same amount that I spent in the Philippines, probably a little cheaper, because obviously a flight from the Philippines to Thailand is going to be far cheaper than coming from the States all the way to the Philippines. All right, so definitely keep that in mind and factor that in, okay? But again, I'm just trying to show you guys and give you guys the numbers. So, you know, so for you guys that are not six-figure, seven-figure earners, you can still do this. You can still travel on a budget. You can still have fun. You can still have a good time. All right. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end that here. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We are finally monetized. So please hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe, do all that. I got almost 35,000 subs on my reaction channel, and I would love to see that transition over to the travel channel as well, because I know some guys are like, well, where's the footage at? It's like, you got to understand, YouTube is funny. I don't want to put my travel vlogs on the same channel as my reaction channel. That doesn't go together. That's gonna ruin the algorithm. All right, so if you know anybody that watches my channel that isn't watching the travel vlog channel, let them know about this. All right, because now that it's monetized, I definitely want to get the ball rolling, especially with me headed to Vietnam soon. Definitely looking forward to that, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to that content as well, because Vietnam, Da Nang, Vietnam in particular, is on my bucket list. All right, and if you don't know why, it's because I want to go see the Golden Bridge. Plus, I discovered there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can do there that's pretty unique and fun to do. All right, so again, man, appreciate the love and support, you guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.